Hey everyone, how are you? It is Saturday nights with Ping. A bit late. How are you all? I actually missed the first episode of Cold Justice. I missed the what was it, like the 8:30, 9 o'clock screening of it. And I was like, oh no, the time change. I was like, yeah, I can watch it at like 1 o'clock. No, it was on at midday here. Damn time zone. I'm still not quite used to the summertime in America. So I don't know why it didn't click in my head. It was like, yeah, your showtime changed. Of course, the TV shows are going to change too. So I didn't quite get to it. The kittens must be naughty. No, it wasn't the kittens. It was me. 100% my fault. How are you all? Kathy Lynch says there's a Cold Justice Marathon today on Oxygen Channel. Yeah, so they tend to run like 6 or 7 episodes just before the new one comes on at like 9 o'clock or whatever time it comes on. Hey, how are you all? Yeah, makeup, lights, action. I'm just trying to see what everyone's having to say. Hey, good to see everyone. Annika was first. DJ was a distant second by a hair. Peekaboo Cockatiel, how are you? Oh, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. I wish I came on at 9 as well. Hey, Insightful One. Kathy Lynch. Dan Yee is here. He probably was off at some big celebrity function today with his au pair. Sienna is here. Maria. DJ. Yeah, we said DJ. Who else is here? Gambler. Gambler made it. Spring here in the USA. Yeah, but it's the summertime. That's why they changed the clocks back. It's not because they're like, hey, we want to get more spring in our day. It's because of summer. That's why you get daylight savings. It's not because of spring. Uh yeah, okay, let's get going. Let's get going. What has been happening today in the Riley case? Unfortunately, I read that they're gonna wind up the search, or at least, yeah, they're gonna wind up the search. That's the information I just saw. Unfortunately, they said that they won't be searching tomorrow unless they're asked to come and search. And right now, they haven't been asked to come back and search for tomorrow, which would mark, I think, over a week now since he went missing. Horrible, really is. It says University of Missouri student Riley Strain has been missing since the 8th of March. The 22-year-old was partying with his fraternity brothers in Nashville when he was kicked out of a bar and became separated from his friends. After a fruitless search, the friends reported Mr. Strain missing, kicking off a now week-long search for the college student. They're saying they haven't found anything. His parents are saying it's definitely their worst nightmare. Riley talked to them like multiple times a day, so to have him go missing just doesn't make any sense. Um, Apparently, the University of Missouri officials have come out and said the safety of our community is our highest priority. Our thoughts are with the Riley family as the search continues. We'll be offering any support to them that we can, and we encourage anyone who needs help to reach out to our counseling resources. So, those resources are on offer at the college's Wellness Resource Center and the Counseling Center within the Division of Student Affairs, as well as the Employee Assistance Program for faculty and staff. Um, yeah, and I'm just trying to find the bit where it talks about they're going to wrap up the search. Hold on. Hold on, my friends. We'll find it. Where is it? It might be on Twitter. Hold on. Uh-huh. So it says emergency officials wrapped up their search around 2:30 p.m. Officials said they would not continue their search tomorrow unless they were requested by the Metro Nashville Police Department to do so. And right now, that doesn't seem to be requested. Yeah, I'll show you. Said officials ended at 2:30 p.m. with nothing conclusive, and that was on the Marine One Metro police boat, and they even had a dog on the boat. Look, is that a cadaver dog? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that the ones that can smell on the water. I wonder if that's what that was, because you don't often take the dog on the boat. That's interesting. It says on Saturday, Nashville emergency officials used 2 sonar boats, 4 canines, and 1 Nashville Fire Department boat and crew, 1 dive team, 1 drone and operator. Crews used the canines to narrow down an area near the riverfront park. They sent a team of divers into the water. Yeah, they really wanted to close this out today by the looks of it. They were like, let's throw everything, every resource we have at it, and let's try to get this done. And they've come up empty handed, which makes this even more confusing. Where is Riley? Like, if he's not in the water, where is he? Or if he is in the water, how come they can't find him? This is getting more and more confusing as we go along, but this is a huge river. I need to point that out every time we talk about it. It's not like a tiny creek. The trouble we had with that lady in the UK, Nicola Bully, who fell into the water. That creek was not even that big and it was fairly shallow. And they searched that and were like, hey, we searched it. She's not in here. And this river is like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 times as big and much deeper. They have boats and stuff that come down here. Nicola Bully, it was like a little, you know, river that went through a park. This is like a giant river that goes through a city. So there could be complexities in this that we're just not aware of because we're not trained people who pull people out of giant rivers and water and stuff like that. But the fact they had 2 sonar boats out, 4 canines, and a drone operator and crew, that's a lot of resources that they really wanted to have this done. Um, Laurie says, according to TikTok, Riley has been found. I haven't seen anything like that. Let me double check, but I don't think so. Uh, I don't see anything like that. It would be everywhere. The breaking news would be ridiculous if that was true. Like, I would have like 50 different people messaging me. There would be 100 different like tweets going out. I don't see anything. Yeah, somebody posted like 40 minutes ago. I was just checking for the latest on Riley Strain. Nothing new, unfortunately. Yeah, there's a lot of people doing the same. Yeah, no. If that's people are posting that for like TikTok clout or whatever, that's really, really sad. Don't make up headlines to get people to your channel. That's sad. I would never do that. Laurie says, and would not let friend follow because they didn't know if he was a true friend or not. I read. So I've read two different things about that. I read that that is something they said, and then they backtracked that, and then they said, here, I've got a quote for you. Give me a second. I was talking to someone else about this last night. Hold on. Let me grab the link that I gave to someone and then because someone posted this, Penguin posted this last night, and then I gave them a quote in reply, in a rebuttal to Penguin. Where is it? Okay. Okay, here we go. So to Penguin, I wrote, at 9:35 p.m., our security team made a decision based on conduct standards to escort him from the venue through our Broadway exit at the front of the building. He was followed down the stairs with one member of his party. The individual with Riley did not exit and returned upstairs. They made it seem like that person didn't want to go out with Riley and just went back up. And I've seen that reported in a couple of places, so I don't know. I've seen a couple of people say that the person just didn't want to go and said, like, I'll meet you later, I'll meet you back at the hotel. And then I saw another person say, they were saying, oh, it's some sort of security policy where they're not sure if you're being like date raped or, whatever and stuff like that. Some weirdos following you and they can't, just because it's a guy and a guy or a girl and a girl or, a guy and a girl, whatever, they can't make sure it's your buddy or whatever. So I don't know. I've seen both. Yeah, I'll pull this link up just to prove that I'm not making quotes up out of my butt. Here. Yeah, this is a quote from Luke's 32 Bridge. It says here, our records show he purchased and was served 1 alcoholic drink and 2 waters. And then it says, at 9:35 p.m., our security team made a decision based on our conduct standards to escort him from the venue through our Broadway exit at the front of the building. He was followed down the stairs with one member of his party. The individual with Riley did not exit and returned back upstairs. And that's all they've said. That's their official statement. So I don't know. I don't know if they backtrack that because it's not actually their policy, or I don't know. Hey Melmac, how are you, my friend? I read the auras. The auras had to pay the tab. Could be because they did kick him out. I know that his dad said that he was trying to pay his tab. That's something his dad kept saying when they were first interviewed. Uh, Marylander says, was he at another bar before? Yes, I can show you. Give me a second and I'll pull it up. Yes, Riley. Yes, he was. If I can find it. Hold on. I know that there was another. There was an article with his mum that showed like what bars he was at. Let me see if I can find that particular. No, that's not the right one. Hmm. Just trying to see if I can find it for you. Aha, maybe this one. Let's see if it's on here somewhere. No, not on here either. There was one where his mum detailed like the different bars he was at before he went to that Luke Bryan's one. I thought it was on here, but just trying to see. I thought when I Googled it, this made a hit. Hmm. I can't find it, but he was definitely at some other locations before he went to that particular last bar. I don't know why I can't find that one particular quote. There was definitely, hold on, guys. So I can tell you here that his mum, Michelle, said she had not heard from her son since a call with him hours before he vanished. He was always texting me, calling me, FaceTiming me. He's always in touch with me. He's very communicative. And then she said, no, that one doesn't have it either. There was an interview with her where she detailed it. I'm sorry I can't find it off the top of my head, but there was definitely an interview with his mom, and she detailed like he FaceTimed her in a different bar, and they'd been at a couple of different places. As far as I know, they were at like different famous people bars. So there's certain celebrities that own bars in Nashville, and they had visited a few of them. I just can't find the particular ones off the top of my head. Kathleen says, "Is there a camera with that shows him heading, which way he headed after leaving?" No, I don't believe there is one directly outside, or if there is, they haven't released it yet. I hope they do. But the only one we have are the three or four that we've already shown you on this channel. Marilander says one drink wouldn't make him stagger like that. I believe he was drinking before. I don't believe he only had one drink. They were at like 3 other bars that night. So he hasn't had one drink. He's had several. Tanya Mitchell says you'll notice how much airtime Tennessee gets. They've had a lot of bad cases in the last like month. They've had Sebastian Rogers went missing. They've had Riley Strain. There was another one that I can't remember off the top of my head. Hey, flying DJ, missing Mizu student Riley Strain seen in homeless camp after leaving Nashville bar. Yeah, we read about that last night. That the police had interviewed homeless people and all of them remember talking to him or seeing him. They just couldn't give any like details. That's give many, like, which way he went, what did he do after that type of thing. Here, I can show you here. Homeless encampments. Homeless encampments and river remain priority focus in Riley's strange search, family friend says. And it says here, just trying to see if it has anything on the homeless camp. It doesn't really, but there you go. Let's see if we can. Oh, actually, let's have a look at this. Retracing Riley's steps down Nashville. Okay, it's been a week since 22-year-old Riley Strainer, University of Missouri College senior, was last seen after reportedly getting kicked out of a bar in downtown Nashville. As the search for Strain continues, News 2 retraced his last known steps to give perspective on where the college senior was last seen in downtown. All right, this might give a better. So this is after he left. I know it would be good to get the before he left as well, but so Broadway, according to the TC Restaurant Group, Strain was escorted out of Luke Bryan's bar, located in the 300 block of Broadway, and then that was Church Street. That's that video from the smoke and vape shop. This is where he's sort of stumbling around, and he's looking at his phone, and then he's like, oh, and then he falls over a little bit, and then First Avenue to Gay Street. That's that video where we see him talk to this couple here. We saw that when that video was released. He stops in this. It looks like he stops and asks them something. They answer, and then he sort of throws up his hands and he's like, okay. And then he kind of keeps going and follows after them. What they said, I don't know. Interesting. I wonder if that two people have come forward to police to give what they know. I'm sure they would have. Maybe we just don't know about it. It hasn't been released. According to, wait, there's that one? That one. There's a third one before this where you see him fall over. Interesting that they don't have that video on here. There's a third one that is the other angle of this one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he appears to lose his balance, falls over, gets back up, and continues down Church Street towards the river. Yeah, I think it's like the opposite angle going the other way to this one. Yeah, he falls, sort of stumbles. He's trying to run. Run? Why? I don't know. So it's a little confusing. Like, why, if he knew he was going in the wrong direction, why did he continue? Or did he think that was the right direction? It's hard to know. He had a phone, so he could have used Google Maps and been like, you can do that thing where it points you home and you just follow the arrow. So I don't know why this was. Hold on. How did you get in here, little cat? Daddy closed the door. It is. All right, hold on. Give me 1 second. Let's try to get this done properly. I want to do this properly. All right, hold on. Hey, what are you doing? Silly animal. I'm just trying to see if we can. I really do want to find that one from before. Hmm. Just gonna see if we can find anything. I don't know why I can't find that information all of a sudden. I read it just last night, but anyway, okay, I don't want to hold the show up. Mel Max says, just so many questions. I agree. Could be more than alcohol, maybe. 4 blocks, yeah, 4 or 5 blocks up the road. If he had turned left instead of right, he would have been up at his hotel. He just had to turn left, walk like 4 or 5 blocks, and then to make a right, and then he would have been at his hotel like 5 minutes, not even 5-10 minutes. Could have been drugged. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I'd need to see more evidence. Danny Mitchell says he looks like a kid with money. He looks like a young kid, yeah, I'll give you that. I don't know about the money part. Lula, hey Lula, how are you? Folks tend not to give their drugs away. That's true. That's why they call it, what do they say? What's that saying? They call it ketamine, not keta yours. That's pretty funny. All right, drugs are never funny, people. Don't do drugs. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Actually, I want to see if we can play this. Hold on. Let's see if it refreshes for us.
Morning billboards are now up in Nashville, spreading the word about.
Hey, good morning to you, Nikel. It is certainly an all-hands-on-deck effort right now. We're talking billboards on the highway, boats in the water behind us, and you can actually hear Metro Police's helicopter actually flying above us right now, scanning alongside the river, trying to find any possible clues to learn what happened to that college senior. And as you mentioned, this morning we had a chance to go location by location and retrace the steps that Riley could have possibly walked before he went missing in downtown Nashville. The mysterious disappearance of 22-year-old Riley Strain began on Friday when he was reportedly kicked out of this bar right here. This is Luke Bryan's Broadway bar. It sits at the corner of Broadway and 3rd. Now, the next possible sighting that we saw of Strain was just a few blocks from here on Church Street, which would suggest the most likely route he could have possibly taken was simply walking this way of 3rd Avenue. The next time we would see Riley would be from this surveillance video here at the Smoke and Vape Shop on Church Street. Now, this sits in between 2nd Avenue and 3rd Avenue. If you remember from that video, we would see Riley walk right down this sidewalk, trip over something, get back up before continuing down Church Street, making his way closer to the river. The next time we'd see Riley was crossing the crosswalk here at 1st Avenue from Church Street, walking on to North Gay Street. Now, if you see here, there's certainly a curve that he would have had to pass by, which goes along with what his parents told us was the last time his phone pinged was a few hundred yards north of here on Gay Street at the James Robertson Parkway Bridge. And so, Nikel, to refresh your memory, this is surveillance video that we saw there on 1st Avenue where he was crossing to Church Street, making his way towards North Gay Street. This was sent out from Metro Police. It was on Friday night around 10 o'clock or so. And that's the last that we have seen of Riley on surveillance video as of now. And so, as you can imagine, it continues to be an all-hands-on-deck effort. I mentioned the boats that we saw here in the Cumberland River. Metro Police's helicopter still flying above us, but also this is continuing to stretch miles, wanting to get any information that they possibly can. Coming up here on News 2, we'll introduce you to the company that's responsible for blasting this information across billboards all across the city, free of charge, just to hopefully get some sort of clue as to where Riley could be. Reporting live in Nashville, Blake.
That was actually pretty cool. I hadn't seen that video, but that's probably one of the better ones where you actually see the different locations from that video, but during the day, because like when you watch from a CCTV, it's hard to get like sort of scale because you're looking down on the street. It looks much smaller, but now you look at it now, this is a little bit more open than what we probably thought it was on the video, right? Like this looks like a little busier, little bigger. If you'd never been there, you would have no idea. There's that camera, and there's that. This is where he runs across here behind this food truck, and he trips. I don't know what he trips on. Maybe his own shoe. I don't know. And then he kind of stumbles, falls down, and then he sort of gets up and he looks around, and then he keeps going. But he was running at this point, and then he stopped. He wasn't running, I don't think, when he got back up. He just kind of kept going. So this is a really interesting. I like this that this reporter went all the way out there and showed us the different locations, and then Church and Gay, and then he was down here. This is the one where you see him at those lights, where he crosses over. They're in the wrong angle. They should be spun the other way, 180 degrees. Where you see Riley is sort of to this guy's right. He's over there, and then he speaks to those two people who come across the crossing, and I don't know what he says. Maybe he's like, "Is this the direction to blah blah?" And then they say, "We're not locals. We're not from here. We have no idea. Sorry." And he just goes, "Oh, okay. I'll just follow you then." And then he follows them and continues down here and somehow gets down to the bridge. It's really concerning. Marilanda says peculiar. It is a little peculiar. is. Diane Marie says, looks like he hit his head pretty hard. I wonder if he suffered a concussion on top of whatever else he had experienced. Possibly. I don't know about a concussion. I don't know if it looks like he did have a nasty fall, but yeah, Gambler, did you send that to me by any chance? Yes, thank you, Gambler. Thank you. I'm glad your Google foo is better than mine. I knew there was an article that detailed it because I'd read it. This one.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Tracy Cornett.
And I'm Marius Payton. There's a long
Is this the one that says all the different bars?
So tonight, our Sharon Dankwa spoke with his parents to break down.
Hold on, I've got some sort of music or an article playing in my background. Here. Just having a read. I said, be careful. When they left the Tempo, I believe, here. This is from his mum, Michelle. When they left Tempo, they went down to, I believe, Miranda Lambert's bar first. Spent probably about an hour or so and 15 minutes or so, maybe a bit longer. This was around 7:30 to 8 p.m. according to his parents. Chris said the group then went to Garth Brooks' bar and he called his mum. He FaceTimed me. After the FaceTime, Ryan Gilbert, Strain's father, said the boys went to Luke Bridges' bar, or Luke Bryan's bar, Luke's 32 Bridge. So they were at least, what, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're at least at 4 different bars that night. So they went to at least, a handful of different places. And he would have got a drink at least, what, every single bar? So he'd had at least 4 drinks. You got to just on the balance of probabilities. You don't go to the bar and just sit there, especially for an hour and 15 minutes. So probably had a few drinks that evening. That's not a crime. I mean, it's young boys being young or young men being young men. Say if it was a girl, I'd say the same thing. Just people having fun. And yeah, so Miranda Lambert's bar. Where is that compared to? I have no idea. The first female branded bar in downtown Nashville. Casa Bar, is that it? Casa Rosa. Casa Rosa is her bar. Where is that? What street is that on? 308 Broadway, Nashville. So how far away is that from the other one they went to? Okay, it's sort of in the same area. If I'm reading this right. I'm just having a look on the map to see how far away it is to... Hold on, let me do... Okay, it's not going to do it for me. I was trying to get a map to show us like how far away from the first bar to the last bar, but it is not going to show it. I'm not giving it the correct commands apparently. That's okay. Melmac says to get a drink in those crowded places, you had to pre-drink. Yeah, maybe they were doing pre-drinking back at the hotel. I haven't seen anyone report that, but I know that's a popular thing with young kids to save money. They'll buy cheap drinks from a bottle shop, or I don't know what you call it in America, but we call it a bottle shop, and have a few drinks in the hotel to make your night out a little cheaper, so that you only have to buy like one drink at each location because it's too expensive to keep paying like I don't know how much beers are in America, but in some places in Australia can be up to $20 per beer. I'm not kidding. $20 a beer. So, and I'm sure these branded places that are from famous people, they're not cheap. They'll be expensive. Of course they will. They've got to make their branding money back on the property, main location and this and that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were doing some preloading. His friends were back at the bar. Friends were back at the bar he got booted out of. Or at least one of them was. I don't know where the rest of them were. They traveled with 16 people? So it was a lot of people. Hey, love is a four-letter word. How are you? And my friend Heather O'Brien, good to see you both on a Saturday night. Oh, why am I so lucky to have you both here? All right. Let me just see if that article had any more information on Riley, and then we're going to move on. I did find it interesting that no one has handed in any dash cam, including I know there's a video out there showing two police cars that travel past Riley, and they haven't released that either, but they definitely go near him, and I'm like, that's interesting that they haven't released. No one has come forward with a public dash cam video yet. Now, there is another video I was watching earlier. Let me see if I can find it for you. There's a video called Birch Pedestal View of Gay Street, and someone forwarded this to me, but I don't know what to make of it. Here, I'll show you. This is courtesy of Brandon Smith. Brandon Smith, thank you. And if you want to watch it, I'll leave a link to his channel. Give him a like and a sub, I guess. He's a nice dude providing the video. So what they say, 1 hour. So just here, there's someone here, and people are saying this could be Riley, and there's someone in dark following them right there. I don't know if you can see it. There's someone right here. I'll go back a couple of minutes and we'll watch it together. There's a car that goes by. There's also a bunch of young kids on scooters that all sort of jet in the one direction. I don't know if they're just stolen a bunch of scooters and going on a bit of joyride, or I don't know. But they all just sort of bolt. Yeah, we're at 59. So in the next minute, it'll all happen. See here, there's a guy that enters from the right in a light shirt and keeps walking. And then there's a dark figure that sort of catches up to him. See, he turns around and there's some sort of dark person, like almost like a shadow. Catches up and then he keeps going, but the guy sort of follows him maybe? I don't know. Don't know. The person's back there, but and then he stops again and they say something. You can see like he's stopping to talk to the person in the dark clothing again. And then the person goes to walk up to them. And then he turns around and then that person catches back up to them. I have no idea what that is. And now you see the people on the scooters come in. And there's all these kids on scooters. I don't know what that's got to do with anything, but and then this car's like, "Oh, get off the road, kids." So there you go. I don't know what that means, but someone sent it to me. I don't know. I just thought I'd show it to you. Yeah, I don't know. Someone sent it to me saying that it could be. Do you have the video where he fell? Yeah, I have that video. Hold on. You want to see the one where he falls in the food truck area? Hold on, I can show you that. Yeah, I don't know. Someone sent it to me while we're live, that video. So I'm sorry if it's not correct. I don't normally do that, but I trust that person. I've got to stop trusting them apparently. Um, let me see if I can get that one from. Let me see if I can get the one that you want, which is the one at the food truck. Yes, it's this one. Oh, don't do that to me. Let's see if it'll play it for us. Come on, buffering. This channel normally doesn't have any issues for me. No? That's interesting. That's okay. We can watch it on their YouTube. There you go. You think he hit his head? I don't know. Hold on. Let's go back. It doesn't. Maybe it did. They don't show it. They kind of cut it out. They kind of make it like a weird. They kind of pause it. You think think he hit it on the ground or that pole thing? It could have been either. And where does he wind up? Sort of like there. Okay. Wish they wouldn't censor things like that. That's very annoying. I wonder if I can find... I know there was an uncensored version of that somewhere. Don't have it. No, I don't have it, but that's okay. There's that footage. At least you got to have a look at it. Yeah, he face plants. Ooh. Yeah, this video cuts out. I don't know why. What's his place called? WKRN. They censored it for some reason. The other one I saw, the one we had on the channel 2 or 3 nights ago, was not censored. You saw him stack it in the footage, but it seems to be it's gone. Like the link I had is not working anymore. I don't know if that's just... I don't think it's anything suspicious. I just think they've probably updated it or something. So yeah, KOMU8 Riley scene. Yeah, this one might be better.
I see this situation like 3-4 times a day. Too many people fall
Oh, there
down
we
on the
go.
floor
Oh, geez, and he
because
did
of
really hit his
drink.
head, didn't he?
News
Too many people fall down on the floor because of drink.
New surveillance video from a business in downtown Nashville shows a missing MU student stumbling down the street. And now we've confirmed the Tennessee Alcoholic Beverage Commission is investigating whether Strain was overserved alcohol before being kicked out of Luke Bryan's bar Friday night. KMU8's Isabel Mark is here in the studio with an update.
Like too many.
I'll pause that. I just want to see that again. What did he trip on? I think it's like he rolled his ankle. That's what it looks like. He stepped, but his foot wasn't where he thought it was going to be. Yeah. He steps and he kind of doesn't have his footing under his foot, and he rolls his ankle. His ankle's probably, his ankle would have been black the next morning. Yeah. Damn. He's so lucky he didn't go a little further. He would have crashed head first into that concrete pylon, and he would have really had a probably bad head injury if he had done that. The newsreader looks like someone famous. You have to tell me who. I'm not good with famous people. Danny Mitchell says, I think he's in the river. They've searched the river today with drones and, cadaver dogs. Mel Max says he was most likely overserved, in my opinion, and wearing those boots. Hey, I'm sure kids get overserved every weekend, especially when they bar hop. I know it's the bar attendant's responsibility to use their responsible service of alcohol knowledge to be like, hey, this person's showing signs of being overly inebriated. I have to cut off service as part of my alcohol licensing. But in a busy bar and you're trying to get drinks out, I mean, they gave him one drink and then booted him out, and they gave him 2 waters. I'm sure maybe they said you can have a drink, but you need to take a couple of waters with you as well. That's often a tactic they use to slow down their drinking. They often will say, yes, we'll give you 1 drink, but you need to show us you're drinking water as well. And maybe he didn't really drink much of the water, and then they said, no more. Yeah, it's the place. I know it's not his responsibility. It's the people serving it's the liquor license. Whoever has the liquor license, it's their same rules here in Australia. If you work in a bar in Australia, you have to take your licensing test like every 6 months. You have to show the like whatever the government thing is for it. You have to show them that this person comes to the bar. Do you see this? Like, what would you do if this happened? And you have to show them that your like deductive reasoning is working. Danny Mitchell says, I bet Ellie is leaning on that group about possibility of drugs. I'm sure every time someone goes missing, something bad happens. One of the things they always look at is probably drugs. Diane Marie says other people could have been buying him drinks, so maybe not obvious right away. Well, when you're buying rounds of drinks, yeah, maybe. I mean, that often happens in group situations. Like one person buys a round for people, and then the next person buys a round, and that's sort of the friend thing to do. Alcohol, tobacco, and fire ATF. No, I don't think it's the ATF. I think it's. I can find the company. Hold on. Or what they said. Officials investigate if missing was what's this company called? The Tennessee Alcoholic Beverage Commission. That's what that place is. That's what the investigation is from. The Tennessee Alcoholic Beverage Commission, not the ATF. The ATF is not is not doing it. I don't think the ATF visits bars to say, "Did you overserve someone? Did you also give them a firearm and a cigarette?" Okay, that's good. You only gave them one firearm and one cigarette, right? Yes? Okay, keep going. No, it's the Tennessee Alcoholic Beverage Commission. That's who's doing it. They probably are the ones who do the licensing within Tennessee, so they probably want to investigate whether people were doing, staying within their licensing restrictions. Oh, thanks, Gambler. 32. Oh, okay. Thanks. That gives me a better idea. Your map is way better than mine. Thank you. Do you mind if I use this? It does have, I don't think it has anything identifiable. Although I can trim it. Hold on. I'll trim it for you. If I can do that. Okay, my software is being a pain. Let's see if I can trim it. Come on. Okay. Every time you do a live show, the thing doesn't want to cooperate. Okay, here we go. There we go. Thanks, Gambler. I trimmed that out so your personal information is not on there. I wanted to protect your privacy. Let me grab this photo and I'll show you this. This will show you the distance between the first bar and the last bar, which I think is helpful. This is the map I was trying to find before and we couldn't find it. All right. So you can see Miranda Lambert's Casa Rosa is over here. Luke Bridges is just across here. It's literally just across the street. So it's not far at all. It's, yeah, I thought it was way further away than this, but it's not. It looks like a lot of these famous people bars are all sort of on the same Broadway street. Like little Kid Rocks, Big Ass Honky Tonk, and the Whiskey Bent Saloon. You've got, Redneck Riviera. There's probably heaps of them. Johnny Cash Museum. Let's go to the Johnny Cash Museum. Jason Aldean's Kitchen and Rooftop Bar. As busy as it gets. Okay. I like this. As busy as it gets. It's packed on a Saturday night. Of course it is. It's probably mental out there tonight. Thank you, Gambler. I appreciate that. Hey, Snapcrackle, you didn't get caught up in the tornado? That's good. Danny Mitchell says, I was in a grocery store with a friend from the ATF. The cashier sold the teen alcohol and my friend just made them pour it out. That would have been the ultimate, like, bad day for that teen. They were like, I just bought my first beer. And your friend goes, come with me and we're going to pour that out in the side of the street. And the teen is like devastated. Oh, that's very kind of you. That's very kind of you. It's very sweet. I appreciate that. Love is a 4-letter word. You guys are very sweet. Sorry I'm on so late. Don't like to be on this late. Okay, well, we can do this. I normally keep it till the end of the show, but we can do it quickly now. I want to thank my friend Leisha. Leisha says, a little something for you. Thank you for all your hard work. What else does she say? And the time you give to us crazy chatters. Thank you. That's a sweet message. To my friend Vicky, you didn't say anything. You didn't have to. You get a high five from Ping, and thank you very much. It's very kind of you. And love is a 4-letter word. Says, sending positive healing thoughts. Thank you. That is really sweet of you all. I really do appreciate it. It really helps. Really does. Thank you. Thank you. Danny Mitchell says the store manager was freaked out that he might get raided by the ATF. Maybe. Yes, fraternity. They were with a fraternity. So they were all these like buddies from the same frat house. Where was the van? What? I don't know what that means. You'll have to tell me more. Yeah, something tells me I would like to know more a little bit about the background to the fraternity, and is Riley a new pledge to the fraternity? Has he been there a few years? What's his status within the fraternity? Like, is he a leader? Is he one of the decision makers? Is he high up, or is he just one of the new guys who just got into it? I sort of like to would know that, because they do some weird stuff in fraternities. Give me 1 second. I just want to grab something. Hold on. All right, we're back. I just had to fix something for the cats. Danny Mitchell says, how old is he? Probably as old as he is. No, he's 22 years old, which is, he's a fairly young man. How long would he have been in uni then? 2 years, 3 years? If he went when he was 18 or 19, would have been there for probably a couple of years, probably. He was a senior at the University of Missouri, was visiting the city with a trip with his fraternity. I'm going to butcher this. Is it Delta? I know these fraternity names often are are not what they seem. Delta Chi, but I don't think that's the correct way of saying it. I think that's wrong, but he was in this fraternity. I'll put it on the screen. You guys can tell me how to pronounce that, because my Latin or Greek is bad. Latin, Greek life. Is that what they call it over there? Greek life. Or Greek row. Okay. What? I didn't even see this. Sorry, I don't want to get off Riley for a second. What does this say? Alexa catches a killer. Moment out of breath husband speaks to Amazon device after murdering wife. Ugh. An Alexa device helped catch a killer after it recorded an out of breath husband just minutes after he murdered his wife at their home in South Wales. Daniel White is heard making commands to the Amazon device after killing his wife Angie White at their Swansea home in October 2022. Police used data to piece together a timeline of events the night Mrs. White was murdered by her husband. Caught in 4K by the Alexa. It says White's voice commands recorded by Alexa at the time of the murder, which aided in his prosecution, have now been aired as part of a series, Deadliest Families. White is currently serving life in prison with a minimum term of 20 years 20 years and 10 months. Wow. Can they show us that? I want to see that. Hold on, share this tab. And let's see this.
Every time you tell Alexa to turn the volume down on the telly, turn a light on, turn the volume, it was all there. So we could just go in, identify that period of Alexa use, and just press play.
The last comment was made by Angie White. That was made to an Alexa device in her bedroom shortly after 3 a.m. in the morning.
Alexa, volume 3.
That was Angie turning the volume on her television down.
13 minutes later, it was clear that White had come up the stairs and was banging on the door, broken in through the lock and come into the room.
He forces entry into Angie's room and says, "I just wanted to get my stuff."
It's at that stage that he has strangled Angie.
He then goes downstairs, can be heard using an Alexa device in that part of the premises.
Alexa, turn on the upstairs light.
Return back upstairs, out of breath.
Turn Alexa. Alexa.
What we believe that Daniel did to Angie would have been physically strenuous. So for him to be out of breath there would really be what you would have expected. Just doesn't sound like he can get anything else out with how out of breath he sounds.
Turn Alexa. Alexa.
The report then goes on at 3:18 a.m. in the bedroom.
Alexa, turn on the upstairs light.
And final recording at 3:19 a.m.
Alexa, turn off the bedroom TV.
There you go. How crazy is that? Hey, Juicy Jules. Good night, my friend. Good night. Good to see you, though. Sorry, I thought that was really interesting. Maybe not to you guys. I'm sorry. I know we're talking about Riley, but that just popped up. What is this called? Deadliest Families. I don't know what channel that's on. If you want to watch it, hold on. What channel is this on? I don't know. It doesn't say. Oh, on Discovery Plus. If you have Discovery Plus, you can watch it. Deadliest Families. That might be an interesting episode for you to watch. Yeah, Daniel White is heard making commands to the Amazon device after killing his wife Angie. That's crazy that they use the Alexa to get him. I know, what a doofus. I just murdered someone. Let them record me and make their own timeline on an Alexa. Very clever. Heather O'Brien, like some crazy movie. Yeah, it's almost like he almost self-incriminated himself through technology, because it basically painted a footstep approach of why the hell's he up and out of breath at 3:19 in the morning, and they no longer hear his wife in the conversation, but they did before. It's he basically contributed to his own conviction. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. I hope we will get more news on Riley. That's really sad that they are winding down the search. It does seem like they threw everything they had at it today, and I just hope for his family's sake that they figure out something. There's a Caleb Harris update. A Caleb Harris update? That's the 21-year-old that went missing in Corpus Christi. I don't think I have an update for that. I'm just having a quick look. No, I don't have an update for Caleb. Sorry, people. Yeah, that's the one. So he went to walk his dog, ordered some food from Uber Eats or whatever. Yeah, Uber Eats. And then by the time the Uber Eats came, he was gone. He's missing, and his Uber Eats was still on the doorstep in the morning. But no Caleb. He is missing. Apparently News Nation did a segment on it, I don't know what, last night or something. Let's have a look. No, it was a few days ago. I don't know why they're sending me that. Thank you to the person trying to help me, but I don't think that's, yeah. Unless there's something here that I'm missing. Hold on. I don't see anything that's pertinent to an update. Oh, okay. This is the update. So it says search efforts have now broadened to include bloodhound searches, and the Coast Guard has now started to utilize helicopters to help with the search in finding Caleb. So that's a little bit of an update that they've expanded the search for Caleb Harris. Wow, to include Coast Guard helicopters. Wow, they cost like $50,000 an hour to run. They are not cheap, so they must really think there's something there that they can help with. Okay. I hope they find Caleb too. How horrible. We've read that one. Okay. Let's go to Texas. Yeehaw. Sugarland man arrested after driving more than an hour to meet a child for sex. Oh, they have the turtle suit thing on him. The turtle schmuck. Oh. They have it. It says a Houston area man is in police custody after being involved in a sting operation. Oh my God. Is the guy from, To Meet a Predator? Is that him? Did he do this? It says Max T. Lambert, 62, was arrested by the Human Trafficking Unit of Montgomery County Precinct 3 Constable's Office. You guys need to make smaller names. It'll make it easier for me. It says he allegedly drove an hour from his home in Sugarland to the Woodlands with the intent of meeting someone he believed to be a 14-year-old child. Lambert was charged with online solicitation of a minor. He was also found to be carrying methamphetamine as well as prescription drugs used to enhance sexual intercourse. So he was, we all know what that is. He was charged in possession with a controlled substance as well. What's his name? Max T. Lambert. That sounds like a criminal's name in a Bond movie. Max T. Lambert, we are here to get you and arrest you. No, there's nothing on it. That's the only article from Click2 Houston. That's the only one. Interesting. Well, there you go. Mr. Turtle Schmock is arrested for trying to have sex with a child. There you go. There's his photo. We should show it around. Don't get to do that and just become invisible. Yes, Chris Hansen. I wonder if it's Chris Hansen or those people from what's that TV show that was on this time last year with that girl? Riley, is it Riley or something? She has her own little crew and they arrest child sex people and they dress up like teenagers and can't remember what the name of the show is. But it was on last year. They did season 2 last year. Marylander says, love that show To Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen. Me too, but I just think since he left NBC or whatever it was, it's not as good anymore. Gambler said they had also just got the dog that day. Jeez. Yes, his dog was at home. His dog was back at the house. Yes, 100%. Okay, let's continue, my good friends. Let's continue. There you go. There's your update on a sex predator. I mean, we can always, I always have time to do one of those. I want to know if I have any more about that lady in Manhattan, Nadia Vittel. They said 2 people. Let me see if I have anything about Nadia. Nadia Vittel. 14 hours ago, woman found stuffed in duffel bag died of head injuries. There she is. Says she died of a head wound. Detectives are zeroing in on 2 persons of interest in the death of a 52-year-old woman whose body was found stuffed in a duffel bag in a Manhattan apartment closet, police sources said Saturday. Autopsy revealed that Nadia Vittel died from blunt force trauma to the head. They ruled her death a homicide. A man and a woman were caught on video leaving the sublet apartment Vittel had just moved into on East 33rd Street near 3rd Avenue in Kips Bay. Around the time investigators believe she died, she said police sources with knowledge of the case. So she only just moved into that apartment. Do you think it was like a scam? Like some sort of scam, like, like a rental scam. They gave a lot of money. She wasn't going to have the house and they were going to kick her out or something and just keep her money. And then maybe she resisted and they killed her or something. That would be interesting if that might be an avenue to look at. Because there's a lot of real estate scams, especially in New York and busy cities, like anywhere you got like millions of people and rental vacancies are very low. You're going to have rental scams there. It says cops responding to the apartment Thursday found Vittel's dog who was barking at people knocking on the door. Inside, officers found signs of a struggle, including a dented and broken sheetrock wall that the woman's head could have struck. Vittel moved into the apartment only on Tuesday, according to the building superintendent, Jean Pompey. Her parents had lived in the building years earlier. Oh, wow. She's a very, very nice person, said the superintendent. Always very accommodating. She would always give me tips, things like that. Gave me something for Christmas, too. After not hearing from her for 2 days, her family called on Pompey to, come and check on her. If she only moved in on Thursday, how did she live there at Christmas? Rory, fuck's sake, cat, come on. Sorry, my cats give me they drive me crazy sometimes. Diane Marie says, I've been looking for a new place. Scammers are everywhere. I'm so sorry that you're in a situation where you have to move. It's horrible right now. I really do hope that you find somewhere and quickly. I really do. It's really hard out there. I know I moved a year and a half ago and it was crazy then. It got even more worse now. And I feel lucky that I have my place. So I just hope that you can find something within your price range. Yeah, I know. Look at that's the little dog that was barking at people, apparently. But I don't understand how she lived there only on Tuesday. Vittel moved into the apartment on Tuesday. But then down here it says she moved in she was there at Christmas. Yeah. The superintendent said she's a very, very nice person. She was very courteous, always very accommodating. She would even give me tips, things like that. Gave me something for Christmas too. How does that work? She must have lived in a different apartment at some point. I know it says here that she lived with her parents. Her parents lived in the building at some point. That's maybe some sort of miscommunication. Her parents had lived in the building years earlier. Like they're talking like a long time ago. I mean, she is 52. Maybe he means like when she was in her 30s or something. Like she lived with her parents at one point and was nice to him. I mean, he's 67. By the way, for 52, wow, she looks great for 52. What a lovely looking lady. He said, I knocked on the door and the dog barked. I called the friend back and I said, there's a dog barking and I don't want to just knock and get attacked by the dog. The family friend assured me that the dog was friendly and implored him to open the door. All I saw was the dog by himself and places where the dog had urinated. No lights were on. Pompey found a broken wall right where he had recently replaced a breaker panel, but no Vittel. Maybe there was some kind of struggle, he said. Maybe they pushed her against the wall. The super told the family friend what he found, and Vittel's family showed up a few minutes later. Her son and two in-laws looked around. They brought the dog down. I went down with them, and he told me that he had called the fire department. By the time the firefighters showed up, the relatives had found the duffel bag in the closet. I wonder if this was a rental scam. The fact that this was a sublet apartment, and she only moved in on Tuesday, 2 days earlier, and they reckon she died 2 days earlier. I think maybe this was a rental scam, and they were supposed to probably just scare her and get her out and keep her deposit and her rent. But she may have put up a fight and they killed her. I just have a funny feeling because how could she only be there for 2 days? Can you guys see my camera shaking? Rory, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be in here. This is why we lock the door now. Yeah, I know. I love you too. Hey, it's alright. Girl. Hold on, guys. Alright, there we go. I had to give her back to mum. She's just she'll lounge over everything and like knock stuff down and kick stuff off, and she's just a sloth of a cat. She'll just do everything. Yeah, she is a chaos agent for sure. She's kicked cameras down in the past and knocked monitors off and keyboards and jumped on stuff. So she's a bit naughty at times. Yeah, so I wonder if we'll find out this is a rental scam. The fact she only moved in 2 days earlier, that yeah, I just have a funny feeling. Alex, why would they kill her? For what reason? It doesn't make any sense. Let me see if I can find anything here about a rental scam. I reckon we probably could. Here, Nadia Patel. Rental scam. MSN.com. Let's have a look. The women's children asked to do a wellness check. Vital was from Kiev in Ukraine. The street is subsidized government housing. Is it illegal to sublet government housing? I'm pretty sure it is, right? So if this building that she was in is all government housing, and that person was subletting their apartment, that's illegal, right? I don't think you're allowed to do that because you get subsidized rent for you, not for you to then sublet and get even more money. I just have something a bit weird going on with this one. I wish we had more video for it. Yeah, maybe here.
Go through the evidence and to painstakingly go through the apartment. Police have identified her as 52-year-old Nadia Vitel, and police sources telling us she lived alone inside this apartment. So they really need to try and piece together evidence to figure out exactly what happened to her. But of course, hearts aching for this family, children having to call in police in this instance, saying that they have not been able to find their mother, be in touch with their mother since Tuesday. They were concerned for her well-being. They were the first to get here before police. And according to police sources, the superintendent here, trying to be helpful, opened the apartment to those children, and they were the ones to make that disturbing discovery. She does live alone. Detectives, crime scene unit here looking for evidence as to who else may have been in that apartment with her in the moments leading up to her death. Those who work in the area expressing sadness over a family experiencing this devastating loss.
There was a family here earlier who seemed pretty upset by the situation. There was an ambulance here and one cop car, and the family who were here earlier, they were just sitting outside on the street. And then slowly throughout the day, there's been a huge police presence. I don't really know if they're looking for someone or what the deal is, but yeah, it's a bit scary.
And Vitel has now been handed over to the medical.
Was that woman an Aussie? That woman that they interviewed sounded like an Aussie. Hold on.
a huge, police presence.
I know, British, UK woman, UK. British lady. Lux says they shouldn't let the family into a crime scene like that, disturbing evidence. Yeah, I agree. You're supposed to wait for a wellness check and let police do it. I know it's hard when it's a family member. All you want to do is find them, but it's the way you should do it. I Hate Morning says, yes, it's illegal to sublease or have roommates not on the lease. Yeah, because if you bring in someone who doesn't require subsidized housing, that your rent then will go up and their rent is charged at full rate for the area. So I know that's how they do it down here. So I'm guessing this may have been some sort of scam. Danny Mitchell, what happened to Sebastian? I wish I had a lot more information to share with you on Sebastian, but I literally don't have much. I mean, I can do it. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm just closing a whole crap load of tabs. And then we can talk about Sebastian, okay? Closing all my Riley tabs for the night. All right. I have nothing. Like, I don't have anything. Since the security camera video, that security camera footage that came out with the two little lights, I don't have anything. I don't have any new news on Sebastian. This is the latest article that was around. Eerie surveillance footage outside missing Sebastian Rogers' home shows two people with flashlights around the property the night the teen wandered off barefoot. That's it. These little blinky lights. That's the latest update. I think this is what everyone's trying to, subject 1 is over here, and then there's one that pops up over here. See subject 2, subject 1. And it's behind in this area, see? It's like back here somewhere, I think, or somewhere. It's not at the front or something. The camera can see somewhere around here. And this was the area we were worried about because if you can get behind here and walk through, there is a whole heap of bushland up here in the back of these properties, forest area. But yeah, it was Nick Perez had that footage first on his Facebook page. Subject 1, subject 2. It's almost like a game of Gallagher. When I watched this, I was like, it looks like an 80s arcade game. And there's poor Sebastian. I really wish there was more information about it. His dad's just so unsure about it, eh? His dad's like, Sebastian was not one to wander off. Due to an experience as a young boy, he would never go far without his shoes on. His dad was talking about how, as a young child, he stepped into what he thought was mud, and it wasn't mud, it was fire ants. And he got lit up by the fire ants and was in pain for like many days from the bites. So he doesn't like going outside without his shoes because he's scared that it might happen again. And it's become sort of like an irrational fear for Sebastian. So yeah, there's little puppies, the cute puppy dogs, and there's his stepfather and mother, Katie and Chris. The one thing I found very interesting about these two, and I'm not saying they're involved or anything, I'm just saying what I find interesting, is that for like about 10 days, they wouldn't give any information. They wouldn't go and talk to any media, nothing. And then all of a sudden, they did this interview and they went on a YouTuber's show, all within about 24 hours. And I thought, that's really weird. I just thought that was so, so strange. Yet they wouldn't speak to Nick Perez, apparently. Nick Perez is one of the people who's been covering this from day one and has been very impartial with most of his coverage, actually. He's been very, not biased towards one side or the other. He's been pretty good. Probably one of the better coverages I've seen of the case. Apparently, they rejected an interview with him after originally agreeing with an interview with him. But they went on a YouTuber's channel. It's just a bit odd. Maybe they just thought he would paint them in a bad light. I don't know. But I just found that interesting. But that's it, guys. That's all I have on Riley. I mean, Sebastian. Marilyn says, why go out barefoot? I don't think he did. It's a poser. Okay. I think we're at that point now. I don't think we're at that point where we're still search and rescue. Diane Marie says, seems like the lights were close to the hedge. Yeah, it does. He did a small interview with Nick Beres or someone else. He did a small interview. Where is it? I'll show you. This is his dad here, if I can find it. He's got the Naruto t-shirt on. This is his dad here. This is his father. That's his dad. He did an interview with KRDO. KRDO. Hey! Stop that. Sorry, guys. Hold on. All right, guys. Sorry. I'm trying to find this KRDO thing. Hold on. Did say KRDO, right? Yeah. Rory, come on. Stop coming back in here, girl. Let's see. Spoke for the very first time. Nope. Let's see. There's this one.
A little bit about your son.
He's got a big heart. He's loving. You know, he's inquisitive. He can be stubborn at times. He loves to play video games. He loves animals. I mean, he thoroughly loves animals. He likes plants. He likes to, you know, grow things. He likes to take care of things. He loves his video games. Boy, the kid loves his video games.
What has the last week been like for you as a father?
My heart is missing somewhere out here, and I'm just trying to find him. Yeah, I don't know where he's at. I can't find him.
And when was the last time you got to see Sebastian?
Last time he was at my house. So I was supposed to have him last weekend, and it would have been 2 weekends prior. He was at my house, and I got to see him. We got to play video games, watch TV. Had a great weekend.
And I mean, obviously, it seems like, what has it been like working with law enforcement? Have they been great, you know, trying to help you with this search?
They're definitely doing everything that they can to find my son, and I thoroughly appreciate it. And I hope that they find him every day. I'm waking up hoping that they find him.
And obviously, so he's autistic. Are there any like tendencies that he may have? Like, does he like hanging out like in the trees or by water that could maybe help people find him?
He does like creeks. I mean, he loves to go fishing with me. But if he's in the city limits, he's, you know, video games. He'd probably be, you know, maybe an arcade or something.
Okay. And has he ever done something like this before? Just leave the house for a short period of time or anything like that?
No.
And I mean, how much sleep have you lost over this last week? Walk me through kind of what that experience has been.
I haven't had very much sleep at all. I mean, coffee and energy drinks is my main diet has been.
Yeah. And I know you said you were out there searching. Are there any particular places that you're looking that you think he might be at?
I'm looking everywhere. I'm not from this area, so I don't know it. So I'm just everywhere. I keep telling people, keep your head up and your eyes open. If you see him, call 911. If my son hears my voice, buddy, you need to get to a phone and call 911.
Definitely. And you live in Clarksville, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but you've been out here in the Hendersonville area just searching for him the last week?
Every day.
And I guess, are you in close contact with his mother and stepfather about the situation?
Not really. I mean, we're in communication at least once a day, but that's about it.
Okay.
I'm looking for him,
Yeah. And I know, like, obviously with social media, it's tough because as a parent, you just want your kid home. But there's been a lot of like speculation too about possible like criminal investigations. I mean, what's kind of your reaction to all of that chatter on social media?
I don't have social media, man.
Okay. But just hearing people kind of speculate about that in the community, I guess, how does that make you feel?
I think they need to, instead of being keyboard warriors, they need to put feet on the ground and start looking for my son. If they really want to help, that's what they should be doing instead of coming up with their own opinion. How about get out there and we find my son?
And how much does your son Sebastian mean to you?
He's my life.
Do you have any other kids?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Did he just say no, ma'am, when asked if he has any other children? Oh no, that's the other father. I was like, wow, he just said he didn't have a daughter, but no. That's the stepfather that's got the other girl. I was like, breaking news. Ping's confused. No. I find that interview very he talks like a cop, right? He gives you the cop vibe. It's always like push back on everything, give very small answers, and like with the question about people speculating online, he's like, "Get out there and find my son." I mean, I get it, mate. Everyone would love to find Sebastian tomorrow. I don't think anyone here is like, "Let's keep the search going so we can make content." I don't think anyone wants that. At least I don't. I'd prefer to have him found. We can say, "Great, we found him," and get him back to his parents. So I'd rather just that happen. Even if it was one day after he went missing, that would be preferable to going on many weeks without him. I would just if every case could be solved in a day, I would be fine with that, you know. So yeah, interesting interview with the father. I can't play it all because we'll get copyrighted. But what I can do is I can place this link from what's his news channel called? WZTV Fox 17 News Nashville. And if you want to listen to the entire thing, I will leave it for you so you can listen to Seth Rogers talking about Sebastian. Yeah, they just have a way. It's drummed into their head through their training that they talk in a very specific way, very carefully. Just because of their work, they have to be within the law. They can't say certain things in certain situations. So I get it. I was just meant you can tell he's a cop because of the way he talks. Okay. Is that it? I don't really have anything else. Tomorrow night we do have a lot of stuff coming up. We're going to follow that cold case, that one from that girl who was found in the bathtub. I have a 40-minute episode for you based on it. I've been writing it for like the last 2 days, and we're going to talk about that because there's been a lot of media interest in the last few days over it. So we're going to go back. We're going to go back to the day that she was found, and we're going to talk about what happened in the last 10 years or so, and why hasn't that case been solved, and what could lead to it being solved. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow night. That's a Julia, right? Am I right about that? Yes. Yes, it is. It's Julia. And I'll show you the slain family of slain EMU student Julia Nieswender or Nieswender, or however they pronounce it. I will pronounce it good tomorrow, I promise. Hopes MSP will investigate cold case. So we're going to go back and look at her case from the very beginning, and we're going to try and figure out who's responsible, who could be responsible, where the investigation might go next, and what could they do to finally get Julia some justice. There's a lot of interesting things in this case that have sort of been lost over the years or aren't reported on as much. And there's a lot of tidbits from her friends and stuff from back in the day. So, yeah, you try searching forums and stuff from like 2012. Very interesting. It was an interesting couple of days. So, we're going to do that tomorrow night. It's going to be a great, great night. Laura G says, my Leo friends are the same, heads on swivel, constantly watching, controlled and careful speech. Yeah, that's just how they are. I wonder if they ever stop becoming like that after they leave. I don't think so. I think they're always like that. Yeah, it was a good live show tonight. I had a great time with everyone. I'm sorry for coming on so late. It is so late. It's like 1 a.m. in the morning for some people on the East Coast. And yeah, tomorrow night we'll be on at 9 o'clock for sure. It's Sunday. We're always back on time on Sunday. And yeah, I think it'll be a good show. There's no other show on tomorrow night. Again, Trish is off again for another night. So it's 2 nights in a row. You just have me. And then she'll be back Monday night. Monday night for her start of her new show week. And yeah, we'll be back into another week of true crime. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that we haven't caught for tonight. Anything breaking? Just very quickly, I'll just check Riley's thing again. Yeah, no updates in the search for Riley Strain. Even Perez Hilton just posted that there's no good updates in Riley's case. For real, he just posted that. So, good night, everyone. I really appreciate you coming here tonight. And I'd like to thank again Leisha and Vicky and Love is a 4-letter word. You guys are extremely kind and generous for supporting the channel. It means a lot. It really, really does. Did you see the standoff in New Jersey today? Feels like there's a standoff in like every state every day. I didn't see the one in New Jersey. There was a one in Baltimore like the other day. Standoff. I'll have a quick look before. 7 hours ago, Pennsylvania shooting suspect in custody. Is that the one? That they fled to New Jersey? Let's have a look.
Yeah, moments ago, I got a call from Trenton police telling me that the suspect, Andre Gordon, was apprehended. He was taken into custody, surrendered peacefully without incident, not far from this police presence. He apparently slipped through this police barricade and was apprehended here in Trenton. It sounds like the mayor is also here confirming that with other media outlets as well. But again, Trenton officials letting me know here at the moment that the suspect was taken into custody without incident. So, of course, we're working to get more details on how he managed to actually get away from the number of police that you see behind me here. And again, we're talking not just Trenton PD, but there's also state police, ATF, FBI agents that have been here on the ground. But again, now taken into custody after carrying out these 3 alleged murders in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. You can hear some sirens as police are going to begin to mobilize to that scene where he was taken into custody. I'm told from officials it wasn't too far from this scene, but again, the exact location we're still working to iron out. But again, the big question is how he managed to slip by this large police presence here, taken into custody here a little bit after the 5 o'clock hour is what I'm being told right now.
So we don't know where they apprehended him, but we know he did get out of where we thought he was located. Is that right?
That is correct. So again, this barricade situation that's been unfolding here at this home here on Phillips Avenue has been unfolding here since about the noon hour. At some point, presumably, he slipped out of that home, out of that barricade, out of this perimeter.
I'll cover that more tomorrow. That's crazy. I didn't even hear this. It didn't even come up on any of my alerts. He killed his stepmom, little sister, and the mother of his children in Pennsylvania, then carjacked a vehicle and had a standoff. Yeah. We just heard in that live stream, the guy said he slipped they had a containment zone trying to get him, and somehow he slipped out of that zone and was able to go on the run for a little bit. Wow, that didn't make it onto any of my news, nothing. And I have 10 different browsers with alerts going off. I'm gonna have to, because I don't know if you guys have seen this, just quickly before we go. Google has changed their search results. Now Google has tried to make it hyper localized. So it'll try and give you your local area. Does that make sense? So it'll give you just from your suburb, and then it goes out now. Before it was just you're either in Australia, you're in America, or you're global. You know what I mean? Or you're in America, you're in the world, that's it. Now it's down to your suburb. Down to your postcode or your zip code. And that is messing up my search results like crazy over the last 3 days. I've noticed it. I'll search for something, I know those search terms will lead me to something I've already been to before, and it will send me all these crappy links that are the worst. They just don't match what I'm trying to find. And that's been like that for a couple of days now. So I hope Google fixes that soon. But I'll look more into this and we'll cover this tomorrow. But what a crazy situation. Thanks for letting me know. What's his name? 26-year-old Andre Gordon, the gunman accused of fatally shooting his family members in Pennsylvania before fleeing to New Jersey, barricading himself inside a home in Trenton, and was taken into custody. The man somehow escaped the home as officials surrounded it, was found and apprehended nearby. Wow, I must have been asleep when all this happened. That would have been one of those manhunt situations where they have all the cars and the helicopter. They probably had the live view.
And has been.
I missed this during my sleeping hours. I'm glad they got him. No, I didn't see it. If you see stuff like that, send it to me. If I don't seem to repost important stuff like that and you think I've missed it, just tag me in it, and that'll really help. I appreciate it. Sometimes because I'm in Australia, it doesn't filter the localized stories to me sometimes. So anyways, we'll be back tomorrow 9 p.m. I'm going to keep an eye on this Trenton one, see if we get any more updates about the suspect before tomorrow's show, and we'll do that then. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you very much for being a viewer, subscriber, and a member here at Nights with Ping. And I'll see you tomorrow night for another episode of Sunday Nights with Ping. It's your 60 minutes of true crime on YouTube. Good night, everyone. Love you all. See you later.